Your time is now. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when conditions are perfect. Now, every moment you wait is a moment lost. Every hesitation is a door closing. But every step you take today is a seed planted for tomorrow. This is not a call to frantic action, but a gentle, persistent whisper to embrace the present, to recognize the profound power held within this very instant. The world often teaches us to defer, to postpone, to wait for an elusive ideal. Yet, the most profound transformations, the most meaningful journeys, begin with a single, courageous decision to start, right here, right now. We often tell ourselves, "I'll start when I'm ready." But readiness is a myth. No one ever feels completely prepared. The truth is, action creates readiness. Courage is born in the moment you decide to move forward. The concept of someday is a comfortable delusion, a soft blanket woven from procrastination and fear. It allows us to dream without the discomfort of doing, to aspire without the challenge of action. We envision a future self, perfectly equipped and entirely confident, who will effortlessly tackle the tasks we shy away from today. But that future self is a construct, an ideal that never fully materializes because readiness is not a state to be achieved, but a consequence of engagement. It is in the act of beginning, however imperfectly, that we forge the skills, gather the knowledge, and build the resilience necessary to continue. The illusion of someday keeps us perpetually on the starting line, admiring the race from afar, rather than participating in the exhilarating, messy reality of it. To truly live, we must shed this illusion and step into the arena of the present. The illusion of someday is a subtle but powerful adversary. It thrives on the human tendency to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. We convince ourselves that we need more resources, more knowledge, more connections, or simply more time before we can embark on our true calling. This waiting game, however, is a trap. Postpones not just action, but also growth, learning, and the profound satisfaction that comes from engaging with our purpose. The truth is, the perfect moment rarely, if ever, arrives. Life is inherently messy, unpredictable, and full of imperfections. To wait for ideal conditions is to wait indefinitely. Instead, we must cultivate the courage to begin amidst the chaos, to take the first step even when the path ahead is unclear. It is in this act of daring that we discover our true capabilities and unlock unforeseen opportunities. The readiness we crave is not a prerequisite for action, but a byproduct of it. Each small step taken, each challenge faced, each lesson learned, builds our capacity and confidence, gradually transforming us into the person we need to be to achieve our goals. So, let us dismantle the myth of someday and embrace the liberating truth that our time is always now, regardless of external circumstances. Success is not built in giant leaps. It is built in small, consistent steps. One word written, one lesson learned, one habit practiced. Each step may feel small, but together they create momentum. And momentum is unstoppable. The grandeur of any great achievement often obscures the countless tiny efforts that paved its way. We look at towering mountains and forget the individual grains of sand, the single drops of water that shaped them over millennia. Similarly, our personal mountains are conquered not by a single heroic ascent, but by a steady, deliberate placement of one foot in front of the other. A writer doesn't produce a novel in one sitting. They write one sentence, then another, then a paragraph, and eventually a chapter. A student doesn't master a complex subject overnight. They learn one concept, then practice one problem, then understand one theory. These small, seemingly insignificant actions accumulate, building a foundation of progress that becomes unshakable. The power lies not in the magnitude of each step, but in its unwavering consistency. It is the drip, drip, drip of water that eventually carves stone, not a sudden deluge. Embrace the smallness, for within it lies the seed of monumental change. It is the rhythm of daily dedication that transforms aspirations into realities, slowly but surely, day by day. The power of small steps is often underestimated in a world that celebrates grand gestures and overnight successes. We are bombarded with narratives of meteoric rises, forgetting that behind every apparent overnight success are years of consistent, often unglamorous, effort. The truth is, significant achievements are almost always the cumulative result of countless minor actions. Think of a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble, not with one mighty blow, but with thousands of precise, deliberate taps. Each tap seems insignificant on its own, yet together they reveal the masterpiece hidden within. Similarly, building a new skill, fostering a meaningful relationship, or achieving a long-term goal is a process of incremental gains. It's about showing up consistently, even when motivation wanes, even when progress feels imperceptible. These small, daily commitments create a powerful compounding effect. Like interest accumulating in a savings account, each small effort adds to the principal, leading to exponential growth over time. The beauty of this approach is its accessibility. We don't need extraordinary talent or immense resources to take a small step. We just need the willingness to begin and the discipline to continue. This strategy also mitigates the overwhelming feeling that often accompanies large goals. By focusing on the next small, manageable action, we break down daunting tasks into achievable segments, making the entire journey less intimidating and more sustainable. So, let us not disdain the smallness of our efforts, but rather recognize them as the fundamental building blocks of all lasting success. It is in the consistent rhythm of these small steps that we find our momentum, our progress, and ultimately, our triumph. Fear whispers, "Wait." Fear says, "You're not good enough." But fear is only a shadow. When you act, the shadow fades. When you move, fear loses its power. Your time is now, because courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Fear is a primal instinct, a protective mechanism designed to keep us safe. In modern life, however, it often manifests as a paralyzing force, holding us back from growth, innovation, and self-expression. It conjures up worst-case scenarios, magnifies potential failures, and convinces us that inaction is the safest course. But safety in this context is often stagnation. The whispers of fear are compelling, insidious, and deeply personal. They tap into our deepest insecurities, telling us we lack the talent, the intelligence, the resources, or the worthiness to pursue our dreams. Yet, the most profound truth about fear is its ephemeral nature. It thrives in the darkness of anticipation, in the realm of the unknown. The moment we shine the light of action upon it, the moment we take that first step, however trembling, fear begins to recede. It is like a phantom limb, felt intensely but lacking substance. The act of doing, of engaging, of simply showing up, diminishes its hold. Courage is not the roar of a lion. It is the quiet, persistent voice that says, "I will try." It is the willingness to be vulnerable, to stumble, to learn, and to rise again. When we choose action over paralysis, we reclaim our power from the shadow of fear and step into the light of our own potential. Your time is now, not when fear magically disappears, but when you decide to move forward in its presence. Breaking free from fear is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice of choosing presence over paralysis. It requires us to acknowledge our fears without allowing them to dictate our actions. When we feel the familiar tightening in our chest or the racing of our thoughts, we can pause and breathe, recognizing these sensations as mere physiological responses to the unknown. By staying present with our fear, we strip it of its mystery and its power. We begin to see it for what it truly is: a signal that we are stepping outside our comfort zone, a sign of impending growth. Instead of retreating, we can lean into the discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies a more expanded version of ourselves. This process of befriending our fear, of walking alongside it rather than running from it, is the essence of true courage. It is the realization that we are larger than our anxieties, more resilient than our doubts. As we continue to act in the face of fear, we build a reservoir of strength and confidence that serves us in all areas of life. We learn that the most significant barriers are often the ones we construct in our own minds, and that we possess the power to dismantle them one courageous choice at a time. So, let us not wait for fear to vanish, but rather let us move forward with it, trusting in our inherent ability to navigate the challenges and embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. Your time is now to transform your relationship with fear and step into the fullness of your being. The past is gone. The future is not promised. All you truly have is this moment. And this moment is enough. Enough to begin. Enough to change. Enough to rise. We are often prisoners of time, either dwelling in the regrets and triumphs of yesterday or anxiously anticipating the uncertainties of tomorrow. The past, with all its lessons and memories, is a closed book. We can learn from it, but we cannot rewrite its pages. The future, with all its possibilities and unknowns, is an unwritten story. We can prepare for it, but we cannot dictate its plot. The only true point of power, the only place where life truly happens, is the present moment. This moment right now is a gift. It is the canvas upon which we paint our lives, the clay from which we mold our destinies. Yet how often do we truly inhabit it? How often do we allow our minds to wander, pulled by the gravitational forces of what was or what might be? To live in the present is to engage fully with what is before us, to savor the small joys, to confront the immediate challenges, to breathe deeply and consciously. It is to understand that every single act of creation, every meaningful connection, every moment of growth occurs in the now. There is no other time. The idea that we need more time or a different time to begin something important is another subtle form of procrastination. The resources, the courage, the capacity for change, they are all available to you in this very instant. This moment is not merely a fleeting point on a timeline. It is the gateway to everything you aspire to be and do. Embrace its sufficiency, its completeness, its profound potential. Your time is now because now is all there ever is. Living in the present also means cultivating a deep sense of gratitude for what is already here. When we are constantly looking toward the future or ruminating on the past, we miss the abundance that surrounds us in this very moment. Gratitude anchors us in the now, allowing us to appreciate the simple beauty of a sunrise, the warmth of a conversation, or the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. It shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is present, fostering a sense of contentment and peace. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals or learn from our history, but rather that we should pursue our aspirations from a foundation of presence and appreciation. When we act from this place of wholeness, our efforts are more focused, our connections more authentic, and our lives more meaningful. We begin to realize that the perfect life we've been waiting for is not something to be achieved in the future, but something to be experienced right now, in the quality of our attention and the depth of our engagement. The present moment is not a stepping stone to somewhere else. It is the destination itself. By fully inhabiting our lives as they unfold, we discover a richness and a depth that we often overlook in our haste to get somewhere else. So, let us slow down, breathe deeply, and truly be where we are. Let us embrace the present with all its imperfections and all its possibilities, for it is the only place where we can truly live, love, and grow. Your time is now to awaken to the beauty and the power of the present moment. Start today. Write the first page. Learn the first word. Take the first step. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect timing. Your time is now. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that step must be taken today. Procrastination often masquerades as prudence, as if waiting for the perfect alignment of stars will somehow guarantee success. But life rarely offers such pristine conditions. The most successful individuals are not those who wait for ideal circumstances, but those who create them through consistent, imperfect action. If you aspire to write, open a document and type a single sentence. If you wish to learn a new language, download an app and learn one word. If you dream of a healthier lifestyle, take a short walk around the block. These actions, however small, are declarations of intent. They are tangible proofs that you are serious about your aspirations. They build momentum and dismantle the mental barriers that keep us stuck. The world does not owe you an invitation. You must extend one to yourself. The permission you seek resides within you, not in external validation or a future date on the calendar. Perfect timing is a myth. The best time to start is always now. What's small, tangible action can you take today that aligns with your deepest desires? Do not overthink it. Do not overplan it. Simply do it. The act of beginning is often the most difficult part, but once initiated, the path forward often reveals itself. Trust in the process of unfolding, and trust in your capacity to navigate it. Your time is now to translate intention into action, to transform dreams into reality, one deliberate step at a time. The practical lessons of starting now are rooted in the understanding that momentum is a self-sustaining force. Once we overcome the initial inertia of an action, each subsequent step becomes slightly easier. This is why the first, smallest action is so crucial. It breaks the spell of procrastination and initiates a positive feedback loop of progress and motivation. As we see ourselves taking action, our self-perception begins to shift. We no longer see ourselves as someone who wants to do something, but as someone who is doing it. This shift in identity is incredibly powerful, as it aligns our actions with our sense of self, making consistency more natural and less effortful. Furthermore, starting now allows us to learn through experience, which is far more effective than any amount of theoretical planning. We discover what works, what doesn't, and how to adapt our approach based on real-world feedback. This iterative process of doing, learning, and adjusting is the hallmark of all successful endeavors. It's how we refine our skills, deepen our understanding, and ultimately achieve our goals. So, don't let the fear of making mistakes or the desire for perfection hold you back. Embrace the messiness of the beginning and trust that you will find your way as you go. The most important thing is to simply start, to put one foot in front of the other, and to keep moving forward. Your time is now to harness the power of momentum and embark on the journey of your own becoming. What is the smallest, most immediate action you can take right now? Do it and then take the next one. The path will reveal itself as you walk it. Your time is now to act, to grow, to rise. Don't wait for the world to give you a sign. You are the sign. You are the moment. You are the possibility. So step forward because your time is now. This is not a fleeting sentiment, but a profound truth. The power to shape your life, to realize your potential, to make a meaningful impact, resides within you in this very instant. The future is not a destination you arrive at, but a path you create with each choice, each action, each breath you take today. Let go of the need for external validation, for perfect clarity, for an absence of doubt. These are often illusions that keep us from our true work. Instead, embrace the inherent capacity you possess. You are the architect of your destiny, the author of your story, the sculptor of yourself. The world is waiting, not for a perfect version of you, but for the authentic, courageous you who is willing to show up and engage. So rise to the occasion. Step into your power. Embrace the present. For in this moment, in this now, lies the entirety of your potential waiting to be unleashed. Your time is not coming. It is here. It is now. Seize it with both hands and create the life you were meant to live.